It
Tell me,
should be up now.
is your tire flat, plants dying, your marriage in shambles? What I think you really need is some Jelp. One dose of Jelp will get you through the day. It'll cure your blindness. It'll make your wife love you again. And it will also bring world peace. Do you feel a lack of Jelp in your life? Then get some fucking Jelp. Why aren't you having Jelp? It's right there. Get the Jelp. Why don't you love Jelp? Jelp loves you. Why don't you love Jelp? What did Jelp ever do to you? Why won't you love? This has been an infomercial brought to you by the Jelp Corporation.
And we are back.
Sponsored by Jelp.
Gotta love those random sponsorships. They're how we
So-
keep our stream going.
So if you've been tuning in with the Sad Space Furries, we've made it. We are now sponsored
By Jelp. A legitimately, definitely product that can do anything.
And more importantly, we didn't get that part at the end where they say the speech really quickly and you don't understand because you don't got to worry about it. Just get Jelp.
Warning, Jelp can help you.
Buy Jelp.
Don't worry about the fine print, just buy Jelp.
We actually do have a disclaimer, I just don't have it on me.
So anyone who's coming back to the channel, welcome. We're glad to have you here with us. We're going to continue from about 2 sessions ago where our party was encountered by another ship in space. The ship was out of reach from their radar. And then suddenly, as they went into reach, they came in with a nice little welcome message. Welcome to the Shadow Plane, unknown vessel. We invite you to partake of carnal experiences never before known to your kind. Lower your shields and be embraced. As if that wasn't spooky on my end. So yeah, 2 weeks ago that was said, and now we are going to confront this ship. And as you can see, the ship is everything is currently placed where they should be on the map, and we're going to start with our starship combat screen. So
Also,
at this point,
what is Gunner's piloting?
20.
I mean, Toner. He's flying.
18.
18. Alright. Not much better than Captain Snow. Alright, well, I just updated the starship info.
Okay.
all right. So at this point in time, everyone goes into their battle stations and assemble, and we are going to start starship combat with our engineering phase. So at this time,
Excuse me.
Captain Snow, you are up.
And I need to find... Oh, there it is. There's that menu. There's really nothing I can do this round. Because even when I was looking through Overpower, it's not particularly useful at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. I think currently, since nothing's
It's all
encountered,
repair stuff. So can I be on a gunnery station for this first round?
let's do it.
Because otherwise I'll be sitting around doing nothing for a whole round.
That sounds good. Well, things are happening on the other ship that is unknown to you, but we're gonna leave just Twitch over at the engineering phase for right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Twitch doing anything?
Nope.
Just at the ready.
Just at the ready in case emergency stuff happens.
Okay, we're gonna switch over to our helm phase, and at this time, I need the pilot to make a piloting check.
All right. And do I add anything from the ship to this?
Piloting?
Let me.
No. It's just your piloting skill onto your roll.
Okay, so there's no bonuses from like ship computers or anything like that.
I mean, if you're gonna take the bonus from the ship's computer, we only have 2 of them at a +2.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since we've done ship combat.
Yeah, it's
Like,
been a good while.
I
So
think.
we only had the 2 uses per round, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which currently for this first round, I would say would be better used on the guns than on the movement.
I
by
mean,
the
okay.
by the way, for our maneuverability, it says average, but what does that mean in terms of how many tiles it takes to turn?
It's a 1-to-1.
Speaking of ones,
So we're going first. Awesome.
So that's a 19 total.
Be right back.
All right. Quick second. Gonna grab my die and I'll follow up. All right, let's take a look. Okay, that is a higher number. Okay. So by the pilot rolls, your ship is going to move first. But there are others in the helm phase. I don't know if they want to go first to see if they can maybe give you a boost. Maybe someone in the captain's seat may want to do something. So I want to see. Let me see who's in this phase.
Also, which ship is us? And I can't move either of them.
Blue and red,
Okay.
I guess?
The top one and the left is going to be your ship, but I think I forgot to put control over it. So let's do that now. All right, it should be controlled by all players now.
Yep.
Okay, so yep, that should be controlled by all. I just double checked.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So what are we currently on?
Movement.
Still on phase.
Movement, cool.
We're going first.
We're going first?
On movement, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, I got confused with, like, normal tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we did space combat.
Exactly. I'm like, wait, we get to go first. Oh, wait, no,
don't
right.
want to go first because
exactly.
then we're
No,
giving
no, no.
options.
Yeah. Just put them in front of us, a toner.
Try to
Alright.
keep them in front of us where our heavy guns are.
So I'm going to do a evade stunt, which if I succeed this check, move and speed and turn as normal, but will gain a +2 to AC. If I pass this check, which is 10 plus 1.5 times the starship level. So that would be 10 plus
16.
16? Yes, it would be a 26. And I failed it by 1. I got a 25.
At least it wasn't another 1 on the die though.
I thought it was at first because it was a 7 on the die,
Mm.
but it was like slightly underneath something, so it was like shadowed. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
That dice is not having good luck today.
Yeah. If you fail, the starship moves as normal. If you fail the check by 5 or more, then you get penalties. Okay, so we don't get any penalties. We just don't get the bonus.
I mean, there's worse things that could happen, so I'll take it.
Yeah. So, what's our best guns and what's the range on them?
Currently, our best guns are the front.
Yeah, best
just
guns are the
because-
front. The one in the back is a heavier hitter, but it's reduced accuracy. The ones on the sides are very average.
All right, and in terms of range,
Range.
Um,
Let me.
We have medium range on the rail ballista,
And
and
medium range on the Buster Cannon as well.
yeah,
Now there are
what does that
differences.
translate into tiles?
I think short is 5, medium is 10, and I think long is 20. I feel that's what it is, but I'll have to double check.
That sounds right in my brain.
That's
Yeah.
how it sounds in mine, but I'll follow up as you're taking your turn.
Hey, Gunner, if you want to take the rail ballista, I'll have the Buster Cannon if they're still in front of us.
I mean I can fire 2 guns if I use resolve.
If you use a resolve, but why
Yeah.
start with using resolve?
Why not? Kill them instantly.
Pretty sure we're not going to be killing them instantly.
So is you. You've never seen me shoot.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, is Gunnar gonna shoot a shot?
Yeah, but not with deadly aim, which I don't think can be applied to ship weapons though.
Remember, you don't have to use all your movement.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the movement.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna. It's very likely they're gonna pull up on our left side.
Which then we'll at least have 2.
Before I move the
They don't know what our where what is.
They
They might
don't.
Not yet.
Brandon does.
Well, yeah, but that would be metagaming.
He's a DM.
I trust Brandon.
That was your first mistake.
you're watching
Also,
on
I
Twitch.
can.
Mistake.
If you're watching on
confirmed-
Twitch, clip this moment right here.
Also, welcome, Meds.
Hi.
Also, I confirmed short is 5 hexes, medium is 10 hexes, and long range is 20 hexes.
Yay!
Yeah, and then takes a command of 10 for each range increment beyond that.
So before I move these ships, Halbjorn, I want you to make a computers check for me. This isn't going to count as part of your skill for Starship Combat. It's just something I want you to do since you're at the systems.
All right.
Who's doing what?
29.
Gunner.
Yeah. Currently, Gunner and Snow are at the gunner position. Halbjorn and Atona are in the helm phase. And Twitch is so far the only one in engineering. You need to decide where you're going. We just got through movement.
I will do captain because charisma's the only good skill I have.
I mean, there's also the science, not science, magic officer.
My mysticism is +3 and my charisma's +19.
Fair.
Halbjorn, as you're at the computer system, a toner makes a turn on the ship, and you see that I'm going to count this as part of the movement. You see that the ship that sent the message over to you is doing like a bit of a beeline, but then you see it kind of like wobble in space, and just for like a quick glimpse, you saw like another ship that looks like it was possibly like stealth by some type of device, where the shield kind of like flickered on for a second and then flickered off. So you just have a sense that this ship isn't alone.
Oh.
Gunnar will, Haldor will relay this to everyone else. Like carefully. They're not alone.
Not surprising.
So like it's going forward kind of like this, and then it goes down 1 hex and then like up 1 hex. So like
So it's
that.
okay. That was
And in that slight bit of movement, you saw like just the shield kind of flicker, almost as if like 2 shields kind of collided, but the damage was so minimal and like so hard to spot. But since you're at the computer system, you just like caught it instantly, and obviously know how technology works, things like that.
Bumper cars.
So I'm gonna just move a few things real quick, and then we'll finish out the helm phase. To get back to Mads, all we've done so far really is just the pilot phase. So we're gonna finish out the helm phase with the classes, and then we're gonna go to gunner phase, and then rinse and repeat. So you really didn't miss anything. Just a recap and a sponsor for this episode.
Jelp.
Jump.
Okay, I moved all the other ships accordingly. So, with that being said, let's finish out the rest of the helm phase. A toner took the part of being the pilot, so we have our captain, our chief mate, and our science officer here. I know that Havoc would have played the role of magic officer, so if you do want to do that, I will definitely go back and do that first if you want. Since I know that's...
She was just saying it relies on mysticism, so she's going to be captain.
Okay, alright, makes sense.
Yeah, because I only have a +3 to a mysticism where I have like a +19 to all my charisma skills, so...
Wait, this fool is right in front of us?
Yep.
Don't trust it.
That's a little sus, but whatever.
I mean, hey, if they want to take the full shot of a rail cannon and a buster cannon.
Okay.
Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do.
I really want to use the buster cannon.
Alright. So, considering the fact that I just saw... you said like the other ship was like here-ish? Like the one
so
short range.
the last 2 hexes that it took, it went down and it went up. So when it went down around this hex right here is where you saw like the shield kind of glitch for a second, as well as another ship shield kind of glitch as they kind of slightly collided into each other.
Okay.
They're within short range, aren't they?
They are.
So, Conley, you could actually use our turret as well if you really want to do the double weapons.
Well, actually, I looked into it. I can't actually do that. The
I mean,
rail blast
there's-
is excluded from broadside. It can only be done off a shoot or precise targeting.
And there's also fire at will.
But that's still not a shoot or precise targeting. Like, it specifically says you can only use this with a shoot or precise targeting. So either I fire it alone, or I fire other guns and not the rail.
I mean, you could do that, and I could fire both of them myself.
That's fine.
So...
Whatever you want to do.
So,
well, I'm going to
That's a...
take this time, my part of the helm base to scan them. So I'm going to make the computer's check.
At 12th level, you can spend 1 resolve point and use your action to give a moving speech to the crew during one phase of combat with a successful diplomacy check.
If only we were level 12.
If only.
Oh wait, we're level 11. Shit, that's right.
I'm gonna have to say something. It's gonna suck.
I feel like I got some power in this captain's chair that I can't release just yet.
I'm sorry, because I have precise targeting at level 12 too, and I'm like, if only.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We totally won't die. Okay, so I'm going to... Gunner's gonna be using the hurdy sticks, so I'm going to demand him. Make him hurt.
So demanding.
So demanding. I'm so scared right now.
She's not used to it. She's not used to being in that role.
Especially to Gunner, of all people.
Yeah. Okay, where's my intimidation? All right.
Well,
Nat
there.
20.
Oh, so what does that
39
give me
total.
again?
So that gives you a +4 bonus to one specific check.
Okay, well I only had to do one, so I have a plus 24 to my attack then.
Just like when Vil used to yell at us to do better in the starship.
She's just like,
Put that boy in an airlock right now.
Wait, how much of a bonus you have? 19?
No, 20.
Just your general bonus, because I'm trying to do some math on other things.
Who are you talking to?
Mads.
to like my charisma stuff. Yeah,
It was
I have a
19?
plus. I have a plus 19 to bluff, diplomacy, and intimidate, and that's pretty much all I'm good for.
Okay, because the main thing I was looking at was our AC of the ship. For both the targeting lock and AC is 37. And if a toner actually got the roll right, it would have been 39 on both.
I don't get it.
Chances of getting hit.
Chances of getting
Oh.
hit, I'm actually liking the odds of.
Okay.
How do I determine a DC?
Okay, so captain phase happened, pilot phase happened, so that would leave just chief mate and or science officer.
I'm gonna use my science officer stuff to scan the other ship in front of us. Because I don't see any point in rebalancing the shield and everything else is a resolve point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is it possible to, instead of like rebalance, just put all the shields in one spot?
I could, but considering the fact that I know there's more than one ship now.
Now,
I don't
also
think putting it all in one
rebalancing
spot-
the shields won't really work on our ship
Hmm,
because it doesn't have the HP shields. It is deflector shields.
hmm. So that is actually interesting. It doesn't mention that at all in the balance thing.
Yeah,
It just
because
kinda-
the balancing came out before the deflector shields, which is from the newest book.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna use my computer check to scan the other ship, see what I can get out of it. 42.
Holy wow. Okay. Uh
Oh.
Just missed it.
no,
Oh.
that's extremely high.
Oh.
The DC is equal to
Brandon's
5.
gonna sweat. Brandon's
One
starting to
and
sweat a little.
What it's the DC is 5 plus 1.5 times the tier of the starship being scanned, and plus
Yeah.
the defensive countermeasures.
Yeah, for every 5 higher you get more information. I think you up to 4, I think. So I'm gonna give a lot of information to you right now. Let's start with the basic information. Living crew, ship classification, size, speed, and maneuverability. Okay. The ship itself is a medium transport ship. It has a speed of 8 hexes, and it has average maneuverability. So after every 2 hexes, it can turn.
Okay.
Let me see.
And assume everything that he says, Halbyon will relay to everyone else.
Living crew.
And it's usually a given unless stated otherwise.
This ship could easily house about like 6 to 8 people, and you're assuming that if this is fully housed, it's probably 6 or 8 people working the boards on their ship. The ship itself, let me see, defenses, ACTL, total and current hull points, total and current shield points in each quadrant. Okay, before applying the pilot onto here, the AC of the ship normally would be a 27 and its target lock would be a 26. So you're feeling extremely confident that Gunner is going to like nuke this thing with plus 24 to hit. As for the shields, it has a medium shields that would total up to 120, 30 being divided into each side.
Okay.
Let me see. ACTL, total and current hull point. Hit point wise, this ship has 100 hit points total.
Okay. So it's squishy.
Assuming that whatever other ship tapped into it, you're dealing with multiples of the same ship. So 100 for this, 100 for the others. But if they're all built the same, they're all pretty easy to hit. Let's take a look. Weapons, information about one weapon, including its fire arc and the damage it deals, starting with the weapon that uses the most PCU. Repeat this entry until all the starship weapons are revealed. Okay, easy. This ship has a forward heavy laser cannon for 4d8, as well as attached to the forward is a summoning torpedo launcher.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah. The second, the aft side of this ship has a light plasma cannon. The aft deals 2d12 points of damage. The forward, the heavy laser cannon would be 48. The torpedo launcher would be 3d10. The turret set at the top is a linked light plasma cannon, which will hit for 4d12.
Oh.
And the power cannon of this ship, it runs off of an Arcus Maximum, so 200 PCU.
So this can let loose if it wants to.
Yeah, it can't take much of a hit, but it could dish out some pain.
So, yeah, information about one weapon, its firing arc, and the damage it deals. So it doesn't actually tell me the firing arcs on here. It just gives me what they are, how much damage they deal.
Yeah.
So
I think firing arc is just where it's placed.
So I think that's it. Was there anything else I missed for at least 1, 2, and 3? Information about how the starship's expansion bays are allocated and any cargo the starship might be carrying. Expansion bays. This ship has a brig, a life science lab, a medical bay, a tech workshop, and this one in particular has an arcane laboratory to it. So I think that pretty much is about everything.
Alrighty then.
Okay, that was quite the helpful information.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a screenshot and put it in the Discord, because this is just information you would know. So I don't really have anything to hide from you. It's just the group's stats. So I'm gonna put it in the Discord in a second. Is there anyone else's turns in this phase that I haven't seen? I don't have Roll20 in front of me.
Unless Havoc is.
Havoc did her command. So yeah, it's
Toner? Oh, Toner did piloting, right?
Yep.
So you're up.
So I think that's it.
All right, I'm gonna finish out my turns real quick. They're gonna attempt to scan onto your ship. Ship in front of you attempts to scan. I rolled a 3 on the die, so that's not high. The other ship, and as it attempts this scan, I'm gonna reveal where it's located. Since your ship will be like, "Hey, we're being scanned by somebody."
Oh.
So that one went and on like a northward angle, riding the hexes, and it just tried to go underneath the ship. I cut it a little too close. So you'll see enemy ship and enemy ship 2 now on the initiative board, and what I rolled for them. All right, gunner phase. Just let me know which one you're attacking. I'm gonna give each one a separate dot, so it's just easy to tell which one's which.
I'm gonna attack the forward one with the rail. What was the AC?
The
AC without the pilot is 27.
Okay, so I mean that's a 36 with that +4.
All right. I'm also going to attack the front one with the main gun, as well as attack the one that has shown up on our port side with our port side cannon. Using fire at will. and one of the computer points. So that drops it down to 2 penalty.
Oh, have we used the other one yet?
You haven't.
All right, I'll apply it to you.
Can I also use that as well? Because then that means I'm pretty sure. My thing has rail an additional 3d8 more damage for every 5 by which you exceed the target DC. I'm already at like, let's see, it was 27, and I got 36. I literally just need 1 to double this. That would add on 6 more d8 damage. Yep. I would be basically doing double damage again.
Should have had a d8.
So if no one's used it, I will be using that to get a total of 12d8 damage.
Damage.
What did I get? The total for the second attack that you did, Jen? Because I was...
haven't put in either one of them yet.
Okay, cool. The first one's gonna hit by Gunner, so that with the +1's gonna hit. I'm just waiting to see these 2 results, which I'm also sure will most likely hit.
3. Ugh, so much numbers. Okay. So I'm currently at 29.
All right. $33 on the first, 27 on the second.
The 33 does not connect. Due to just the pilot kind of outmaneuvering it. The second one with the 27 also does not connect.
Well, here's the thing. I just did 68 damage to that boy in front of us.
68.
So 30 of it is going to be resisted by the shield. And as the 30 points is decimated, the other, would you say it was 60?
68, so that'd be 38.
So it's going to take 38 points.
God, I got an 18 to get the 33, and it missed.
Oof.
Okay. They're going to go. And I got to switch real quick. It's just unfortunate not have my tabs up. Okay. So first we're going to start with the heavy laser cannon, as well as we're going to start with the heavy laser cannon. No, we're going to start with the one that you shot at last. So with the turret, they're going to use their Link Light plasma cannon. So 14 plus 16, 30 against your AC.
Misses.
Okay. Next, the ship that's in front of you is going to use its torpedo launcher. I had a crit on the die. All right. Before resolving that, the other ships that were here that were not detected are also going to make an attack as well. And I will reveal them to you now. So now the purple dot one's going to go, and it's going to use its forward.
Oh my.
I got a 3 on the die, so that's not going to cut it. And then the yellow dot one is also going to use a torpedo. Torpedoes are on point. So I don't actually think this is going to hit you. A 32.
32 misses.
Let me just make sure the torpedo is actually AC and not like a target lock.
Torpedoes are always target lock, and it would still miss since our target lock is also 37.
Okay, so yeah, then a torpedo is sent in your direction, but it just doesn't Doesn't penetrate, doesn't sink. So
I was
only
about
the
to say,
one.
because if it was about to hit, I could always just use our laser net to destroy it before impact.
Well,
So
maybe you can do that to the one that crit.
Oh,
Yeah.
was that a torpedo that crit?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Then I'll try to shoot that down. It's a plus 10 on the point system. All right. That's 28.
I just need to be refreshed because I forgot. When shooting it down, what would the DC be?
Let me. I can't believe.
I just need to be. Because I feel like that was successful, but I don't know for sure, and it's Starship combat is a little rusty for me right now.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. Weapons. Weapon properties. Important. Scrolling down to point. Here we go. DC is gunnery check equal to 10 plus the tracking weapon speed.
10 plus the tracking weapon's speed?
Yep.
Okay. So how many hexes it would go? Speed of 12 hexes.
All right, so it's a 22 total. So yeah, beat it.
Okay. You see that missile blown to smithereens. Doesn't even penetrate your shield.
I love that point system on the turret.
Okay. We're gonna start the next phase. So at this point, if anyone wants to switch their positions, feel free. But otherwise, we'll start with the engineering phase. You still haven't taken any damage, so there may be nothing to do here. But the enemy did, so I'll be playing that part in the background.
Also, I have a question.
Listening.
When it comes to one of our ship's things, it doesn't say when it is actually meant to be used. Like what stage it's meant to be used at.
When it comes to one of the
breaching pod. Could try to look it up online, but I don't recall ever seeing when it can be used in a starship thing in what phase.
breaching pod. I'm looking at it on AONSRD quickly. When a breaching pod strikes an unshielded quadrant, 1d6 damage to the target, bypassing any damage threshold. Are you about to send people in a breaching pod to the other ship?
I mean, the shields are down on the front quadrant, so it would be nice to be able to send it before the shields come up again.
Yeah, it doesn't really say it on this end. I guess I'll speak on behalf of the enemy you just shot. I was going to use this time to begin to patch up the shields in the front since it took a lot of damage and I have to do this phase before the pilot moves. Since it would take a while for the crew members to get to where the breaching pod is, if someone chooses to skip a round during combat phase, I'll count that as like running over to the breaching pod. And then at the start of the next phase, the breaching pod will be dismissed and going to like whoever the target
I'll
is.
easily send Twitch to do it since engineering is not really needed, and have Twitch launch it.
I think that's a good like risk for reward kind of thing, having being a player down so the player can do something else for a round. Because they might run to the breaching pod and you might roll in that one, and it's like, all right, do I stay here or what? So I think that's a pretty cool mechanic to do. So let's go with that.
All right, so yeah, Twitch.
That being said, they do begin to start patching things on there, and you see this shield slowly being replaced in the front, and then we'll move on to helm phase. So
where they could actually bring up the
pilot
shields.
Pilot phase or helm phase pilots, and I'll delete the numbers here.
I need to read through the thing again to see what bonuses are used.
We're rolling for piloting now?
Yup.
Well, the good news is that it's a better roll than the last one. Bad news is that it's not by much. It's a 5 on the die this time. So 23 total.
Ice Jill it is.
You said 23?
Yep.
You got almost like every odd number between 21 to 31. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna move the ship in front of you first. That one got the lowest roll. I have a speed of 8 and a turn of 2, or average maneuverability. So all right, that one's gonna end his turn there. So whenever, for a toner, whenever you're ready to move the ship, you are good to go.
Still going first.
I'm just reading the different maneuvers, trying to decide which to do. All right. I'm gonna do another evade, which is a DC 26. And since my physical dice seem to hate me today, I'm gonna use the online roller.
Got my fingers crossed.
Apparently, all manner of dice hate me today, both physical and digital. So, actually, wait. I think that actually qualifies for the penalty, even.
That's not good.
If you fail the check by 5 or more, yup, that's exactly 5. Because the check is 26. The starship moves as normal, but takes a penalty of -2 to AC and target lock until the start of next round.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm doing.
When you turn, can you only turn like one hex worth, or can you rotate like any direction after the end of a turn?
So the book actually, I don't think the book describes it that well. So I've always had it where it was just like one hex, like one diagonal hex up, or else it'd be like a U-turn or something. But
Gotcha.
Yeah, because there's a flip and burn, which is meant to be like an immediate turnabout. So yeah, I think it's supposed to be like one turn, and
All right. So then I'm gonna use one more movement. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to get this guy in our forward cannon so we could rail him again.
is that the ending space currently? Sorry, my computer just said the connection's being interrupted, so I didn't know if anything else happened.
Yeah, that's where I'm ending.
Okay, everything just moved to me too.
Yep.
So, roll 20. The thing just had a
Yeah,
fit.
so both these guys are in our forward aft, or
Forward arc.
forward direction, whatever it's called.
The front.
Yeah.
The front. All right.
This actually, I believe this guy can be targeted by either our forward or our port, depending on whatever's stronger, because he's like right on that line.
Yeah.
So the one with the yellow dot goes up next, and he's just gonna go forward one hex. The one after that would be the red dot, and he's going to go. Should I attempt a maneuver? Yeah, let's attempt a maneuver. Let's change up my normal. It's gonna attempt a, I think, with 8 hexes. Are you in fly? No, I'm not facing you, so you're not in flyby. The other one is gonna attempt a flyby though. The purple dot that's next to you is gonna attempt a flyby maneuver. So this one's just gonna go. Red dot's gonna move there. Purple dot is gonna attempt a flyby, so I'm gonna do a pilot roll. Okay. Let me see. I think that totals to 33. 33.
Doesn't hit.
No, that was
Then
for the
alright, he's
flyby.
35 right now.
That was for the
So-
flyby. That wasn't for attack, I thought.
Oh,
So for the maneuver, the flyby, the DC is equal to 15 plus 1.5 times the tier of the enemy ship, which you are all 11. So the DC would be 11 plus half, which would be 5. So 16 plus 15, 31.
Oh, it's a 1.5 times, so it would be 15 plus 15, or 15 plus 16 rather.
Yeah.
So it'd be 31.
And I had with a piloting
33?
with a piloting check, I had a 33.
Yeah,
So-
that passes.
He does succeed, damn it.
During the following gunnery phase, you can select one arc to fire at the enemy. So it's gonna fly by and shoot a. That one already shot a torpedo, so it's gonna fly by and use. Gotta look and see which one's like the highest, because that's
Yeah,
sort
you
of
can use any arc, and it can do it as if it's in close range.
It's going to use the light plasma cannon, which is usually attached to the aft. Once we get to that phase. And I'll move the ship accordingly. Okay, all ships are moved. So, pilot phase is over. Let's finish out the helm phase. Captains can go at any point. So, Mads, whenever you find the opportunity you want to go, just let me know.
Well, I would like to do a taunt.
Okay.
But I'm just not certain on who yet. Let's do this one. So I would like to do an intimidate on... Yeah. So that's 15 plus 1.5 times the enemy starship tier. So now I shall roll intimidate.
That's a success.
Third. Yay. Shit. I'm just not in it today, am I?
That's a nice heart.
Huh?
A heart made out of arrows.
Where do you see this heart made out of arrows?
I don't know how they did it, but someone made a heart out of arrows by like pointing where all the ships were located.
Ah. That is a nice heart, but yeah. Havoc's gonna come up on their screen and just go, bitch.
Which screen in particular? So I'll mark it with like a symbol.
The engineer.
I gave a sad face. I'm like, who's this guy? Who is it?
Havoc just bitch. Gone.
Bitch, -2. -4 if they're doing a rush action.
Oh, good to know. Because I was going to do an at will. All right, so that's captain for this turn.
Oh, for 1d4 rounds, so I have to do 1d4. 1d4.
Here we go.
3 rounds.
I put 3 rounds. That's not bad.
No.
I put Twitch at the pod.
Alright.
Okay. Science officer.
Alright. I'm going to you know what? I'm gonna attempt to lock on. Considering that, well, I know Gunner can hit him, but it's no.
Yeah, I definitely need whatever assistance possible.
Yeah. So I'm gonna lock on to which one have we already hit? This one was already hit.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll find the one else. You know what? It's not this guy's day today. Down here. I'm gonna attempt to lock on him. 32. The DC is 5 plus 1.5 times the tier of the starship plus its bonus from defensive countermeasures.
5 plus 1.5. So that'd be okay. And then what was the last part? The countermeasures?
Yeah, plus whatever they get from their countermeasures.
That's still a success.
Perfect. The gunners now have +2 to hit it.
Nice.
This on here.
Okay.
This round.
Let me make my rolls real quick for their science officers. Okay. You just have this feeling that after seeing what happened with the first missile that was kind of just blown to smithereens in front of them, that you just have the feeling that these two that are facing you directly are getting ready to shoot the same type of missile to see if you can dodge both. As their science officers are attempting to lock on to you.
They really just pulled the Uno reverse card.
reverse. And with that, we'll go to our gunner phase. On my turn, I'm going to do on the background, the captain checks the boost for their gunners. So you'll hear dice roll from me, but play your turns accordingly.
Yeah, they're trying to boost, trying to hit us as much as possible right now.
Ugh.
Alright, which one are you going for?
Okay, so what one did we hit last round?
We hit this one.
Blue dot.
Okay, then I'm gonna go for him. Hopefully, kill him this turn. But we'll see.
Now
We're heading
try to
into
hit this
shield
guy.
now. Yeah, just kind of wrote lock on. That way we can keep track of it.
Engineer is fixing things on the ship, right?
The engineer started patching the shield where you hit it directly in the front.
Well, the engineer cannot patch the shield. It's the science officer that does.
Okay.
I'm sorry, science officer. I got it confused for a second.
Engineering, I believe, is like systems, or is that computers?
It's the hull repair and systems.
Okay, yeah,
It's
that's what I
actually
wanted to
fixing the
do.
ship.
Okay, good.
Since I've played both, I know quite well what each does. Alright, I'm probably just gonna do only a single shot this time, just to maximize my chances of hitting this fucker.
For the rounds of being a bitch.
Okay, so we have a +2 to our thing, right?
Yes, you got +2 to hit him.
Okay,
The
and
one I locked on.
this one, so not me. Cool. Then I will take one of the bonuses as they haven't both been used.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the other one as well, because once again, I need as much help as possible
Yeah, they're
with
for,
this
they're
stupid
for you.
high fucking shit.
Okay, so that
Plus
total
4 for me.
Okay, so it's +2. I don't know, so it's 31 to hit.
Plus...
Brandon,
What was the number? I didn't hear it.
31 to hit this boy.
31 misses.
Right, 19 plus 17 plus 4.
Oof, okay, that hits. 1917 is 36 plus 4 is 40.
Yeah, so that's this fucker down here.
Yeah. That's the light particle beam, so it's the 3d6, so not our best.
Yeah, I only got a 9 on my dice, so that's why I missed. It's low on my scale.
9 total damage. Because starship weapons don't have the bonuses. Add to the damage.
Nope.
Let's see. Did I miss another part?
I believe it was 9 damage, you said?
9. Okay.
Mhm.
The light particle beam isn't the best.
No. But it's functional.
Mm-hmm.
Was that 9 after any shields, or that was just a total?
That was just the
This
total.
total damage roll, there's no other modifiers or anything.
Oh no. Okay.
Because
Yep.
when it comes to starship weapons, they have no modifiers to the damage. It is just straight dice roll.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start with the one that's gonna use his aft to attack. So with this one, I feel like I'm not gonna have a good chance to hit. Wow. Okay, I rolled a 2. So the one that missed with the F weapon was completely missed. He did a flyby, and their gunner just wasn't ready for what was happening.
It looked cool.
Yeah, it was. It looked cool, but within the ship, their team is just like, "Yo, what are you doing? Stop going off script."
The pilot's like, no, this would be so super cool. I'm gonna do this.
Don't worry, guys. I got this.
I saw this in a movie once.
It can't be that hard. The gunner, you're not the one firing.
Who taught you to fly? PlayStation.
GTA.
Yeah.
Again, snakes on a plane reference.
Let me see. That was the one. The other two are gonna do missiles, so I'll save that for last. So the one that is I've been hit is going to use its turret, which is a link light plasma cannon. Let's see what I get. 30 total is going to miss.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we go on to our missiles. They are locked on. The captain's yelled at both of them, saying, "Just punch the keys for God's sakes." And one of them have a -2. So this one, wow. The first one I rolled a 19, which because of the prior science officer check with the lock on, a 19 to 20 will crit.
Mm.
The second one, the one with the -2, I rolled a 6.
Wait, are
So
you
yeah,
looking
laser
at?
net the one that
lock-on?
crit.
What, are you looking at target systems or lock on? Because lock
Oh,
on.
wait, did I look at the wrong one?
Target systems is the crit on 19 or 20.
Okay, then I looked at the wrong one. So with that 19, let's see.
I mean, they're gonna still get a
Yeah, I looked at locked on, not target systems.
I have a feeling it's still probably going to be 35.
19 plus it ties.
So laser net.
16 plus 19 is 35. So yeah.
Meet the beats.
That's a 25 to shoot it down, which I think is pretty close to the last one I rolled.
Let me look back at the chat. It was 10 plus the speed of the thing. That's 12, so that'd be 22. So
Yep.
yes, that one's
So
blasted.
that one gets shot down too. Yeah, that's why
Zero
I
damage so far to your ship.
I fucking love weapons with point on them.
Like, no. Well, bad.
I say no.
Okay. Turn 3.
Basically, you put that thing. You put
No
that thing
one's
back
in
where it came from,
engineering
or so help me.
because Twitch is ready at the controls to launch the pod as soon as we drop someone's shields.
So I'm gonna play engineering for the one chip that was I've been hit. Before they just tried to replace their shield. Now they're gonna take this time to balance it out.
I mean, that's science, not engineering.
Getting me switched up. Yeah, I keep getting them switched up.
Stop
Let me look at
confusing
them.
me.
That is fair though. There.
At this point, the engineer's yelling at everyone else, and like, just do your job, do it correctly. And he's going
your job
to. He doesn't really have to patch because you haven't hit. Wait, you did actually hit a critical threshold with the 60-something points of damage.
Yeah,
So
would have hit
Let's-
multiple.
That's what I was
Let's-
saying. Is like I thought I would have done something.
I'm sorry, it's been a while. I forgot.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're all
But-
trying to remember.
Let's
Oh.
apply it, and I'm gonna make a roll now to try to patch it up. But I'm gonna say whatever it is, we'll add like one round of whatever it was to it, and
Okay.
I'll
How many
count it.
times did it do it? Just once?
Just once, since it has 100 hit points and it took 30, which passed the 25 hit point threshold.
I got 11.
11. That is That is sensors. So
All right,
their sensors are glitching.
I rolled a nat 1 on trying to patch it, so they'll still
It got worse.
yeah, it just
That's fine. Just use some of this Lysol spray.
It's like in barrel gun where they just kind of fly back. Oh. They tried using Flex Seal.
That's a lot of damage.
okay. I'm gonna count that as my engineering phase. Their system's just like glitching out, and they're just their communication isn't as great right now, and we're gonna go straight into the next phase. All right, helm phase. I guess let's start with the pilots this time around. So a
All
toner,
right.
give me a roll. I'll delete the numbers.
I'm using a different dice this time. This is my third D20 of the night. 4 if you want to count the online roller. Let's see if this one gives us any better results. The good news is that every time I roll, it gets slightly better. The bad news is that it's still below a 10 on the die. It's a 7 on the die this time, so it went up
honey.
so it went up by 2 from the last one.
Well, at least it's not going to be the critical failure this time.
So
On the right side, it's been getting better.
that's a 25 for the initiative.
There's the roll that I did for the ships, and in that order. So ship
Hey.
1 is gonna have 23.
We're actually in the middle of the pack.
Ship 2 is gonna have 34.
Oh, also good news that -2 to our AC is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God.
What was the total for yours again? It was 20.
25. Yeah, I got a 7 on the die this time.
Yes, we're in the middle right now.
Which
Yeah.
isn't
All right,
exactly
so yeah,
bad.
you're like right in the middle.
First initiative was a 1, second was a 5, then a 7.
Maybe next time we'll break double digits.
All right, I'll start with the enemy ship first. It's gonna begin to just kind of, you know what? It's gonna just try to turn around. So let's look at the pilot. It's gonna attempt a flip and burn.
Ooh.
So same 17. 17 plus 11. Flip and burn is 15 plus 1.5 times the starship's level. So it fails by 1. If you fail this check, your starship moves forward half its speed but doesn't rotate. All right, that happens.
So it's not flip and burn. It's just kind of burn.
See, the actual flip part is them flipping the bird at you, but you just don't see it.
Wow, those guys have a ton of movement.
So
I mean, they're a smaller class ship than we are.
So that was the first ship. Enemy ship number 4 is the one that got insulted. It's gonna try to fly by because it was just called a bitch.
Hey, you're welcome.
17 plus 12, 29. Flybys is, let's see,
I don't think it's
15 plus 1.5. So
Our DC is 31.
31, so they fail.
Yay!
So, all right, if you fail this check, your starship moves as described above, but you follow the normal rules for attacking, and it provokes a free attack from the starship as normal. So, one of the gunners, give me an AOO as it just kind of
use the Buster Cannon.
May I do something as well, since this is the new
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you do it. Use the Buster.
Can I encourage
Yeah.
Can I encourage Gunner?
Do you want to do that right now?
I would.
Go for it. What words of encouragement do you have?
Fuck.
Or
I'm about to
action.
say
It
some-
could be either.
I'm about to say, feel like I'm about to say something cool, and then it just evaporates. I'm just like, oh fuck, just hit him.
Finally, someone who speaks my language.
Is that the encouragement? Just hit him.
So just
him.
fucking shoot
Just
him.
like,
Finally. All right. So this is
she just
good.
like Gunner. She
Yes.
struggles for a word. Fucking hit him.
Will do.
Fucking hit him. Hit the bitch.
All right. So that is. So you gave me a +4 to that.
Hold on. I need to
Or is
make
that
the
two?
diplomacy check. But even
you're
if
right.
even if I roll like a 2, it's a DC 15. So
Mhm.
yeah. Diplomacy? Does it say diplomacy?
For encourage, I believe so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. DC 15 blew it out of the water. Okay, so +2.
Cool. So that makes this a 16 plus my 20, so a 36.
Oh, yep.
Right, and funny thing with Buster Cannons, hey, they don't really do damage to the ship itself. It does all the damage to the shields. If the initial shields that are hit are taken out, it goes and diverts the rest of the damage to the adjoining shields.
So Gunner, I'm gonna give you a choice. Since
Okay.
I was attempting to do a flyby check, which means I could use any quadrant out of whatever zone, I will let you choose the quadrant. Just be aware that a toner does the movement after you do this shot. So
All right.
if you want to take
Which one was it? The yellow one?
the yellow one, the one that has the bitch tag next to it.
Shoot the
Okay,
bitch.
Toner, I assume you're going to be moving forward, right?
I'm trying to decide if I want to move just straight forward or if I want to try and like do a little like dip and turn thing. Sort of like be at an angle.
Okay, well,
Like
when
if I want to be like
where
down
are you
here.
down there?
Like,
Okay, so
I'm
I
trying to
guess
decide if I
I'll
want to be like
choose
just
the.
moving, like here, or if I want to go like somewhere down here and like turn towards facing.
Okay, so we'll
this guy.
go for the port shields first.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so and how much did I beat their DC? Because I think there was also something about bonus. But let me see. Remaining damage. Shields, engineering checks to ever power of the Never mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, never mind. I think it's just straight damage.
Yeah, it's just straight damage. It's just the extra caveat is it does half damage if hit directly against their hull, but hitting their shields, it displaces the rest of the damage energy to the adjoining shields.
Alright, so 68. This is plus you two. Ooh. 8 plus 6. So it's a total of 34 damage.
If I remember right, it's 30 to take out the initial shield, and then it's 2 on the
On each
front
side.
and the back shields. And with that, Pod.
Yeah.
Yo, the setup is so good.
It's almost like this is what I built this ship for.
And with
Pog!
that pod.
Shooting the pod. That's pretty poggers.
Oh my God. In
No,
the Twitch, add some poggers to the chat.
Pog!
No.
Okay, one more time. Just give me the damage that was dealt
It
to
was
it.
34.
Total was 34, so 30 to take
Yeah,
out the
so
shields
then-
initially, and then the front and back shields both take 2.
Yeah, that there's a hole directly in the shield for a pod to go through. All right, I'll say the pod gets released now before the movement because I know your movement's going to be like not in that direction. So the
Yeah.
pod's just kind of released and inside of it, Twitch is kind of homing the direction of where he wants the pod to go. And I'll leave it at that.
I never got my pilot's license.
Okay, I think that's awesome, and I'm excited. Let's follow up with a toner's pilot movement.
All right. So 1, 2.
Yeah, I could just imagine, like, with that forward movement before the turn, that's when the pot is displaced off to hook around.
4, 5, 6. There we go. I believe that puts them in our front range, right?
Yeah, that'll be on the front. But yeah, the pod itself would be more over here if we
Yeah. So that's
cross through.
Pod.
yeah. Okay, that's solidly in our front targeting cannons. Perfect. And I'm also going to do the evade maneuver again. See if I'll actually get it this time. DC is a 26. Let's see what happens. Hey, there we go. Finally above a 10. Got an
11.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Got an 11, which means my total is 29, which is good enough. So
Yeah,
I
there we
don't
go.
care.
Okay.
Whatever.
And
it worked.
That's what matters.
Evasive maneuvers.
I can't believe that. Just like I got more than a 10. It's an 11. Yeah, it actually is an 11. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Okay, I'm gonna move the last 2 ships. Enemy 2 is the red dot, so I'm gonna. The ship itself does see the pod, but the thing is, my maneuverability isn't that great. I have to move 2 hexes before I can turn 1. So instead, it's gonna just focus its fire on to you, just not paying it any attention.
They're like, oh, it must be a lifeboat. They're abandoning ship.
We're not detecting any life signs. Not like that's
I'm not
ever
detecting any
possible.
life signs, sir. It must be faulty.
The other ship is actually just going to flee the scene. So it's going to just do a straight beeline up.
We can't hit them with anything. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Okay, bye.
I'm just going to delete it. It's just fleeing. It has no intention of coming back.
Can I do like a taunt on it?
I'll give you a free taunt on this one, because your one action was to help Gunner, but since this one's fleeing, I'll give you like a, call it out taunt since you're in the captain's seat.
Okay. I'll just come up on their screen. Just wait. Bye.
Okay. So that was just the pilot phase or the pilot part in the helm phase. So the captain's turn was used, the pilot's turn was used. So that leaves science officer.
All right. I am going to. He's in our. You know what? I'm gonna attempt another lock on blue over here, because he's kind of the one we're trying to take out at this point. He's already hit. We should probably start taking him down all the way. Come on. A 44.
Oh.
Does that beat it?
Yeah.
All right, lock on. You both get a +2 to hit that thing.
Yeah.
So I'll mark him.
Within this same part right here, I'm going to say that the pod is slowly just creeping up onto the one ship.
The reading through the things, the pods are long-range tracking weapons with a speed of 8. So it would have immediately hit the ship.
I was going to have it hit on the gunner phase because then they'll just be like, what the F?
All right.
So
And,
it'll tie in with everyone, with every other gunning
and it
attack.
was going to hit on this quadrant where the shields are down.
Okay. I guess on my end, I'll do this really quick. Okay, that is that. So we are now at our gunner phase.
How many of the +2s have been taken?
So
None.
far, none.
I will take one.
I guess
That will
I'll
put me
take
at a
one as
40.
well.
What's their AC?
Yeah. Their AC total has been 33. So yeah, 40 is gonna hit.
So I'll at least get one more above what I do. So that'll be 98.
Where's that? Where'd that go? There it is.
Is this onto the one that's locked on or onto the one that you took the shield out completely?
This one.
Okay, locked on one. Got it.
I'm going to do a full broadside on this one.
Then also makes it. Wait. So if I was also locked on, doesn't that also give me an additional +2?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 42. But he's at 33, so it still wouldn't be 10. Okay.
All right, and with the computer bonus, that wipes out the penalty on the broadside. All right, so light particle and laser net.
Okay. So to the blue boy, that is a total of 42 damage.
Okay. The shield actually didn't suck up 30 because I balanced it around. So 42, it was down to 18. So 18 and 16 is 42. Sound about right? 8, 6, 8, and 14.
8675309.
I got
Oh,
33 on both.
Both hit. So another 14 points. It's going to take another threshold.
All right.
The blue ship.
5d6.
4.
Uh, 10 total damage to red.
Okay. That is with the shield. The shield's going to suck up all of that. Yeah.
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 It's like some of the first damage we're doing to red.
I didn't do their damage or their attacks just yet, but the pod at this point is going to collide into the yellow ship. So what would the damage for that be?
The damage for the pod is shit, why'd I get rid of that? 1d6. And
Okay.
since it's all medium size, it's 8 drones charging in. Wait, that's correct. That's 4 damage, and 8 drones. So they're getting a little preoccupied.
Yeah, they're gonna be distracted for a little bit. Okay, I'll play everyone else's turn accordingly. the blue ship.
Also, I should get my book so I could bring up the information about the whole, because there are actual separate set of rules for shipboard combat in the middle of a space battle.
I did not know that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you about that in a second. Let me finish this up real quick. Blue one's gonna use his turret. Captain didn't assist this time around. Nat 1 on the die. That sucks. So Nat 1 for blue ship. Red ship is gonna. I think you're slightly out of its forward. So I was gonna use this.
You are.
Attack. That'd be a 28 to hit. And the yellow one, I'm going to say that the pot interrupted them. And on top of them having a -2 for being called out for being a bitch, they're going to attempt the same thing with the turret. All right, I rolled a 2 on the dice, and that cancels out with the -2. So that's a complete miss. All right, so that's it. That's the round. We're going to go into engineering phase. I don't think there's anything happening in engineering phase for anyone. So we'll go to the piloting phase. So, Atoner, whenever you are ready, give us a piloting check. Hopefully, whichever dice you choose will be nice.
Yeah, the number went down.
Damn it.
Back to a 7 on the die again.
Oh my god.
So 25.
Please order new dice right now.
Get like 2-hour shipping. Come on. Not even.
2-hour shipping.
Look,
You
same day
have
shipping
Amazon connections. Just get it delivered now.
immediately. Go pick it up.
It's Cyber Monday right now, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh my
swapping that-
god! What?
swapping that die out.
Someone ordered something for same day shipping. All right, what's the problem? It's 11:59. Oh my god!
What was the total for your piloting check?
25
25. Oh, well,
again.
you matched. What's your piloting total?
18. Yeah,
Wow.
we went back down. Things were going up, and then we went back down.
I felt that.
They have a +17 to their piloting check. So the yellow dot one that just got hit is now dealing with Twitch. So their focus isn't really on Starship combat. So their pilot is probably trying to evade the scene. So that's the action I'm going to take. The pilot for them is just going to continue to move forward.
All right.
And then you would be up.
One of these
There we
days.
go. That's all the relevant information on boarding parties.
Oh my.
Yeah, whole new rule set.
So much.
I may let me see. I think I'm gonna make a journal entry right now and literally just copy paste all of it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll just be something everyone can see. So let's go to journal. I'm gonna go to Starship Combat, and I'm just gonna put boarding as a new thing. You can continue playing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm just planning out my movement. All right, okay. 1 turn. 2.
And the drones are counted as skilled. So they have that +2
4,
modifier.
5. 6. All right. And I'm going to do another maneuver of evade. Why is that a good roll? So that passes, so
Better than
we
bad.
get a +2 to our ACs again.
Yeah.
I like how I made this boarding the ship, and I copy pasted everything, and it's just Jubilee's picture, like. Like, I literally just copied it with the picture. I was like, oh, that's new.
And I love it. It's the sassy picture too.
I'm just imagining that the drones are like Yes Man from Fallout New Vegas.
And
Instead of being a smiley face, it's that picture. And they're all going, say the magic word, as they're just maiming people.
It is
Beg
bludgeoning,
for
slashing,
your
mowing
life.
people down, like down the corridors.
doesn't Twitch have a Gatling gun strapped to him too?
No.
Twitch does, but Twitch is on our ship. The
Ah.
breaching pod is loaded with a bunch of other drones.
Just you didn't say the magic word. Rip, 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 rip. But
mean-
just hear a buzzsaw.
We could also use that ourselves. But it was only currently loaded with spare drones.
That's too good. So the one with 25 initiative went. The red one is 28. He's gonna fly off screen. They're seeing that what their attacks are constantly missing, and it's like this is a lost cause.
Eventually we will win. It'll just
Des
take
just
a
laughed
while.
at me, too. She's just like, huh.
This is quite a conundrum.
I mean, okay, yeah, it was yellow that had the breaching pod.
So that one is just going to keep flying until it's off screen, and then that just leaves the locked on ship, which is still determined to at least hit you for some damage after giving that message to you from the start. So let's it's going to rotate.
There you go.
It's going to go right there. And I'm going to take the I've been hit because everyone that's only like the closest ship to you now. All right. Yeah, pilots are done. So captain can go at any point, science officer can go at any point. I'm still reading what's on the side here. I literally copy paste and haven't read it, so I'm doing that now. But whenever you're ready to go, just go for it.
Science. Alright, well, So what can I do? Everything Oh. Alright, since I think we have most of his shields done, I'm going to target systems blue. See what I can do. That's a net 25. It had to happen at some point.
Your dice was like too hot for a while.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm totally fine with taking this net 1.
You did the target system.
The DC is 5 plus 1.5 tier. 1.5 times the tier, and defensive measures.
I have to look at the countermeasures because without the countermeasures, so far you're beating the check. So,
Oh my god!
yeah, this ship isn't the best for that. So 1.5 times the tier, so that would be that plus 5, so that would be that. The countermeasures for the ship. Success.
Oh,
Success.
with a nat 1.
On that one.
That's nice. Yeah. So I'm gonna target their. I'm gonna target their life support. Target the life support. A natural roll of a 19 or 20 will crit, and then if that attack deals critical damage, it affects the chosen system. And any further critical damage is random at normal as normal.
Okay. Life support is targeted. I'm going to write that on the space. Okay. Their turn. They're tore up. They're just gonna try to balance out the shield. I dropped my die. But I got another one here. Alright. Shields are slowly balancing out. I have to figure out the numbers for it. But we're on to gunner phase.
Alright.
Alright.
And they're on our side, so we can't use our main guns on them.
Yeah, I'll use the turret.
I guess I'll.
Or I'll take the light particle if you want.
Yeah, you take the light particle. I'll take the laser net.
Alright.
I would like to encourage Snow.
Take a +2. Makes that a 10, so a 30 total.
Hold on,
It's a 33.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Life support doesn't affect the AC. So that will miss.
Yeah, so there you go, Jenna. A nice +2.
Alright. That is probably going to miss.
If it's a 19 or 20 on the die, then.
I got a 12 on the die. Plus 19.
That's 33. That just hits.
Oh, that hits.
Doesn't do crit damage though, but.
I mean, it hits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the 2d6. And of course, I roll 1s on both dice, so 2 damage.
We're really good at defensive maneuvers, but we can't do offense for crap apparently.
Yeah, it's almost like I made a long range, like a medium to long range tank. They're shooting handguns at a fucking tank.
We literally just blasted their torpedoes out of the sky.
Yeah, what ones were gonna hit were blasted out of the sky, and all of everything else missed.
At the end of this gunnery phase, you get a signal sent to you, or I'm sorry, you get a message sent to you from the ship that's next to you that you just shot at. The shields took care of the damage that you placed on the shields, and you get a message saying, you know what? We don't want to embrace you. You can just leave us alone.
Snow's gonna respond, I'm getting my drones back.
That's a threat.
Well, you don't need us for that, whatever that means.
We currently do.
He has no idea what happened to Yellow.
Oh god.
From Yellow, you just hear screaming.
What happened to Yellow?
We've sent drones into their ship.
Yes, 8 drones are raiding their ship.
Oh, they're still there. Oh, just barely though.
Have you ever seen the movie Aliens?
Uh,
This is such a bad comparison.
That's so bad.
Can you imagine what it would be like on a ship if
Mm-hmm.
a pot just
Something
right
just
inside
busts
and-
right through the wall, and you see robots pouring out of it. Fuck.
Just ripping you to shreds.
Oh wow. I'm happy with the comparison. Makes you wish I was a player. Yeah, so that being said, the blue ship says whatever that means, that doesn't involve us. The engineer phase is going to happen. It looks like Twitch takes its turn on engineering phase, if I'm reading this all correctly.
Yeah,
Okay. So let's resolve that.
especially because the drones now on board are going to do their own thing.
We're just here screaming.
God, I need to bring up the engineering thing again, because I believe there is something that Twitch can do on engineering. Oop, wrong one. Engineer. There we go. Yeah, good divert power. The question is, we probably needed more to the engine than to the weapons. So yeah, Twitch will try to divert power to the engines.
This is exciting.
That is engineering check. Okay. Alright, that definitely passes since it's a 38. Because diverting power is a DC 10 plus 1.5 the starship tier. So yeah. So speed is boosted by 2 this round.
Okay.
And we're already heading a good direction anyway, so...
Okay. Does Switch have the ability to like listen or to hear?
Yeah, it has various sensors to pick up various happenings in the area.
Give me a perception check.
Twitch, why did I close out your screen? Perception. Alright, not nearly as good as Snow's, but it's decent. That is a 27.
With a 27, as Twitch is onto that ship, Twitch is hearing a bit of conversation happening between the captain, science officer, the engineers, and things of that nature. The yellow ship said, look, it's already one thing that we got insulted for being called a bitch, but they shot down every missile that was launched at them. They're too powerful for us. And the who you would assume is the gunner on the ship says yes, but those were special missiles. And you just hear them say, so does it still work? And that's what you catch in this 6 seconds.
Before the gunfire starts.
Correct.
We got special missiles of our own, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, engineer phase is done. Piloting check.
This will be like the one time that it's high.
Define high. High
in
is that
double digits.
it's the highest I've rolled all night.
What
What was the total?
Total is 31.
Nice.
I got a 13 after swapping out my die yet again.
Okay, initiative is currently in the order that it needs to be in. Let's see. 26. 26 is literally going to be fleeing. But since you were chasing it, one, because, an ally's on the ship, I'm just going to keep it.
Twitch is on our ship. It's all the drones that are on the other ship.
Sorry. You're absolutely right.
So it's like, we're not going to lose anyone if we lose the ship, but at the same time, Snow wants to recover that pod instead of having to remake it. Even though she can with the stuff on this ship.
It has a speed of 8, so it literally would just spin this turn. Both of these ships are actually like fleeing the scene. I just don't know which one you would like to pursue.
Yellow, because it has the breaching pod on it.
Okay, so I'm actually going to I'm going to say with them being distracted with the drones and stuff on the ship, that their speed is halved because some of the people who are manning the stations have to stop what they're doing, and their pilot's having a hard time focusing. Like, I can't be doing dips and turns, or people walking on the ship are going to be hitting the ceiling of the ship. So they're going to move at
as well as the laser fire going into and out of the cabin. They're trying to pilot it.
So I feel like that's with the situation they're dealing with, I feel like that's a good balance. So I'm going to move them forward 4 hexes and call it there, and then you can follow up.
Right. And Jen, you had done a thing to improve our speed, right?
Yes. The speed is +2.
So in that case, I'm going to use the full power thing. If you have at least 6 ranks in piloting, which I do, you can spend 1 resolve point to move your starship up to 1.5 times its speed. So since our speed is temporarily 8, that would be 12. However, we add 2 to our starship's distance between turns. So would that be 3?
Yeah.
Total?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so
I believe 12 would get us
2, 3,
this row.
4, 5, 6. Alright, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12.
They're currently about like 6 hexes away, I think.
Right, yeah. And they are in our forward firing thing.
Yep.
So if Gunner wants to use the rail ballista, and I'll try to disrupt their shields again.
Yep. I'm gonna also target systems them.
Alright.
Although I'm not sure if you get back your drones if we blow up the ship.
I mean, the drones are keeping them distracted. I really don't care if we lose the drones, because we actually have a system on the ship that it takes half the time to rebuild the pod and the drones. It's just a matter of, if we could take it alive, we could possibly get stuff from it.
32 computers check to target lock their target systems there. I'm gonna say
So
their
that's a
engine
+4 or a +2.
No, that it's crits on 19 or 20. So, and if you roll 19 or 20 on the die, it's going to be their engines. So,
I doubt I'll get it, but we'll see.
We will see.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it's going to do it. I'm just re-looking at what the DC is again.
Mads, you do anything as the captain?
If a nat 1 got through it, then
Yeah.
Motivate me. Or
Yeah,
yell at me to do good.
A success.
or as Claxer would say, do better.
Stop sucking! God!
What are you doing, Mads?
I think she just motivated me.
Mm.
So that's a +2. So, okay, and then I can take the additional. Can I take both of the things?
Hmm?
Can I take both of the bonuses from the computers?
I mean, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it has to be one per. Like
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, so that only gets me up to. On the die, it's 14 plus the 2, so 16, plus 20, so 36.
that should hit because it's been like.
I mean, it's
33.
definitely gonna hit. It just won't be a crit or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything to the engine.
And what's that guy's AC?
The AC is. I don't think there's any. That might be. It was 33, but I'm trying to remember. With the 3 rounds that I had, that -2 if it was to attacks. Yeah, it's 33.
All right. So I don't get any bonus. Just the 68.
Oh yeah, I got like 34 to hit. So, hey, dropping their shields even more. Also, with this being the case, can we say the Buster Cannon hits first before the Rail Ballista?
Sure.
Can.
Perfect. So that's 68, which I'm just gonna do the auto roller for. Because if I drop the shields first, you do straight damage to their hull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 28. And if they bounce out, they had already lost a lot of shields before.
With the 68, that's total of 24 damage.
And the back shield should be completely out, and the nearby shields would take the remainder.
Yep. Back is done. With the balance, the remaining damage, is that split evenly between the other shields?
As evenly as possible.
As evenly as possible. So the other shields are like dwindled down pretty hard, but still up. But the back is completely exposed.
And that's where the railgun hit for full damage.
Full 24.
See, this is what I designed this ship for. Use the Buster Cannon to soften them up, and then pound the fuck out of them with either the rail cannon or the death knell.
Mm-hmm. Just wait until I have until I'm level 12. I can improve countermeasures them. Oh my god. So much stuff I can do with that.
So I'm gonna assume you're just gonna keep pursuing the ship until it's either 1 destroyed or
2 disabled
down.
enough that we could finish off whoever survived the drones.
Actually, question
Okay.
then. Do the drones have comms units on them?
I mean, Twitch and Snow would have easy access to the entire crew of them, and you could probably bring up video feeds on the main screens.
Can we get within 3,000 feet?
Hmm?
Can we get within 3,000 feet?
That's exactly what I thought you were gonna do, and I got.
I
Really
don't think
excited.
so. When it comes to the space hexes, it is a lot more of a distance than ground hexes.
Yeah, 3,000 feet. I checked is the better part of a mile. So we had to get real close anyway. We probably basically have to be like.
Yeah, we would have to pretty much be
here.
on top of them.
And by that point, we could just board them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull these. I'm gonna pull the pieces down because they're just moving forward. So I'm gonna pull us down a few hexes. But engineering phase would start at this point.
I'm sad that isn't possible. I would love to just teleport onto their ship. Just, I'm here now. Perish.
They think that they have all the drones, and then a pocket bear shows up. It's like,
From
fuck.
one of the drones, from one of the drones just springs a bear.
Okay. Engineering phase.
And Twitch is gonna boost the shields again.
Shields are on.
Yeah, that goes through. It's 30 something.
Okay. 30 does something would right here for them. I did my roll. I'm done for my part for engineering.
I'm done on our part. We have an extra +2 on speed again.
Pilots, I only get one roll, so
So this is the top of a new round.
Yeah.
top of the round.
I would like
Oh,
to.
no.
I would like to demand. A toner.
Do better.
Too late. I
A
already
toner
rolled a
get.
two.
Oh, you already rolled it. God damn it.
I rolled a 2 on the dice. That's a 20.
Mm.
Oh my god. A toner, you need to let me know when you roll so I can help you, you poor baby boy.
What does the encourage do?
Demand, I think, is a +4.
It's a +4, but it really wouldn't have done anything because you
Yeah.
already made the roll.
Well, it would make it a 24, so.
Yeah, but you didn't, so now it's just a 20.
You could just yell at the gunners.
I
Okay.
can't do it at Gunner because I already did it. I
We're
already
gonna
did it at Gunner.
We're gonna pocket that roll for your captain. and just-
I mean, you also didn't do any extra bonus for
Yep.
me.
Yell at Snow.
Because you know I'm also doing
So-
stuff here.
Okay. Pilots, a toner. You are first up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just fly at it as much as you can.
5. And then. Oh, wait,
Below that.
you can't aim that way, can you? No, because that's not the way the hexes go.
I mean, we can still hit them with the front cannon at this angle.
Yeah, but then they could move after us. They could.
Yeah. That's just a matter of, are they going to hook right, or are they going to keep going straight while fighting
Yeah.
drones?
What do you guys think? Do you think I should just turn us face this way, or keep us on facing this way?
Keep us facing that way.
Alright. You know what?
Just get us as close as you can. We'll see how
Yeah.
things transpire.
And since there's not really much else I can do, I'm going to do evade again.
Oh.
Got a nat 1.
God,
So we
dang
actually
it.
lose to AC.
Oh my
It's-
god!
You know, it's a good thing they're being distracted.
Oh my god!
So because I failed by 5 or more, our AC went down by 2.
So back at
Jesus
35
Christ.
AC.
Yeah, we're at 35 AC.
Okay.
And that's all my die. That's
Okay,
all my
Blake.
dice.
Blake, I want you to look. I want you to look at Discord right now. Get your shit together, Blake. Get your shit together.
It's not my fault. It's the
Yes.
dice. I've rotated through all of my d20s and the online dice roller.
All I'm hearing are excuses, Blake.
Wait, I have one more. I have one more d20. I'll use
Oh.
that next turn if
Oh
we
my
have a next
God.
turn.
My God.
Wait, how
The
many
enemy
spaces
ship.
did you move?
5.
I only moved 5 out of the 8.
I mean, we could go right on top of them.
And then I could teleport to the ship.
So what, you want to be like this?
Either that or on the same hexes, either above or below them.
Yeah, but if we're on the same hex, then they get to AOO.
Do they?
I believe that's how that works. Since that's what happened when they failed the flyby.
No, it's with flyby. That is the special caveat, but we're not doing a flyby.
Yeah, but in that case, I don't think you can fly through their hex at all.
Well, let's find out.
You can do if you're doing the Holden maneuver. That's a Star Wars joke. Don't mind me.
I was actually looking that up too.
Like, what maneuver is that?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
I was like, wait.
huh, I don't remember that one.
I am finding this up.
Oh, it's not hold in, it's holdo maneuver.
Okay. On their turn, give me a perception. Oh, never mind. On their turn, they're actually gonna take the maneuver to just turn in place, and they're gonna be facing you straight, like directly.
Okay.
So that's the pilots.
And on the video feed, how is it looking for the drones?
The drones have their engineer and their science officers distracted. You see a person with a gun of some sort taking shots at the drones, but there's many of them. So they're all dealing with the situation. There's someone in a captain's chair that still has their eyes on what's going on. The gunner is still set up there, but that looks almost about it. So they look like they're poorly staffed with dealing with airship stuff.
All right, so gonna try to disrupt their shields with the cannon.
Before you make a roll.
Moving through starships.
Wait.
Oh, I did not make it, so never mind.
Let me target their systems.
Yeah, it looks like no one's on their computer systems whatsoever. Just like a pilot, a gunner, and a captain to kind of tell everyone what to do.
Roll of 2.
I found the thing about what the rules are for moving through other starship hexes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can move through it, but you can't end your movement there. If a starship moves through a hex containing an enemy starship, the enemy starship can fire any one of its direct fire weapons from any arc at the moving starship, targeting its aft quadrant.
All right.
Not our aft.
This free attack doesn't benefit from any bonuses or additional abilities from other actions taken aboard the enemy starship, such as divert or lock on.
All right. Good to know. All right,
Yeah.
so
I took a screenshot and posted it in the Discord.
You're the best. I'm looking at it right now.
All right,
And that
so
the computer's check was to target systems, their core. Because if they're not going to try to run away anymore, I might as well get their core.
Yeah, so we're just kind of facing each other nose to nose, just screaming at each other.
They're screaming in pain, we're screaming in anger.
I got 33 to hit.
Yahtzee.
So that's another full. God, that'll take out nearly all the shields they have remaining because the science officer was too distracted to balance, and the front was the one that was hit the least.
Did you do that whole thing with the crit?
Yeah, what did you roll on the die gem?
I got a 16 on the die.
Well, I'm asking for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the whole thing with crit.
But
Okay, because I just got an 18 with the +2. I'll make it a 20.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it'll target the core like I locked onto, but
What ends up happening with the target lock, whenever you reach critical threshold on damage, normally you would roll for whatever area. This automatically goes to that area.
yeah. So let's see. The next attack made by your starship that hits the enemy ship scores a critical hit on a natural roll of a 19 and 20. If that attack deals critical damage, it affects the chosen system. For any further critical damage resulting from the attack, determine which system is affected randomly as normal.
Well, this is going to actually do some damage because their shields is slowly being demolished, and
I mean,
they don't have a person to keep an eye on it anymore. So
now nearly all of their shields are gone, with the exception of like the left and right shield has anything on it left. And
I'm about to put a rail right through them
yeah, go for
with
it.
a 40. So
Yeah.
that means I'm doing 9 dice. If they're still at 33, are they?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
still
then I'm
33.
doing 9 dice.
So first, with the 31 points of damage, apply a critical threshold before rolling this. You're 9.
The
Oh, wait,
31 is
I
not
would
critical
go-
threshold. It's only 2 shields.
Okay,
Unless I were to
got it.
shoot an area that doesn't have shields, then it's half damage.
Okay. So then the shields in the front are done. The remaining goes to the side shields, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the side shields are at single digits at this point. So
And
no
that's
back,
50
no
points of
front,
damage
and 50 straight up.
straight through.
So I would say give me 2 critical thresholds, but because it was locked
It's automatic.
on, that's automatic. So it goes down 2 phases, right? It goes from past the glitching to the second phase.
Mm-hmm. Is the 2 critical thresholds on the single point.
Yeah, so they are hurting. They are hurting bad.
Wait, what's their core on now? Then if it's not glitching, it's malfunctioning. Okay.
Yeah. One step away from being completely inoperable.
I'm gonna do. They're gonna just try to get the 2 shots. The gunner is attempting to make this work. 29 is probably going to miss against AC for the first attack.
Yeah. Even with the minus, they would have to beat a 35.
Yeah, not happening. Okay.
So the rounds just keep deflecting off, like even at this point blank range, just right off the shielding.
All right. We are back at the start of the round. This will probably be the last round because that 50 points of damage really did enough.
Let's try to disable them, shall
as
we?
As I mentioned, their engineer, like any person on the computers, isn't active, so they don't have anyone for engineering phase, and for this round, they won't have a science officer. So, engineering phase.
I'm gonna divert powers. This time to the weapons. Yeah, that beats it. God, trying to use these like base level things is like a super high tier. It's like the rolling is just a formality.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so weapons get each damage die. Starship weapons treat each damage die that rolls a 1 this round as having rolled a 2 instead.
No, ain't that helpful?
It certainly can be.
Mm-hmm. Especially because I'm gonna target that core again.
Okay. Engineering phase is done. Everyone's favorite roll, pilot checks.
It's not my favorite role.
Boy, please.
So wait. Before we do this.
I was just
Don't
about
roll.
to say, Mads, do you
Anyone
want
got
to
a if it's me to get a crush?
Intimidate.
Oh no, and they got a good roll.
Oh no, I didn't do it.
Oh no.
Mm.
This is why you don't help him either. It'll pass on to you.
I'm infected.
All right, and this is
This
my
is where you
last
screw up.
D20. This is the last D20 that I own. I cycled through all of them but this one.
Nat 1.
Uh,
Please just get a nat 1.
No.
no.
Bad.
You're the best around.
He's silent. I don't know how to feel about that.
Hey, Mads,
What?
I hate you.
No.
I got a nat 1.
Why, Mads? Why?
Bad.
That is
Bad. I want you to
terrible.
look at Discord now.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. You wanted this.
You're right.
Don't act like you weren't begging for it.
So that's a 19.
You asked for it. How dare you?
That's a 19. So I guess we're going first.
Well, at least it doesn't look like they're moving.
If they're trying to make a last stand, it's technically we don't even really need to move.
Mads.
And with them directly facing us, they will have to go.
I'm sorry. I'm okay.
Yeah, and I can evade because evade requires you to move.
But yeah, it's fine if we just choose to stay here.
Yeah, by the wording of this, the ship moves up to its speed and can turn as normal. Does that require, like, force you to move all 6 tiles, basically?
I don't know.
The way it's worded, I'm not sure if it implies that you need to move.
I mean, what we could do is also just a flyby. If you want to risk that roll, do a flyby, we could have an extra chance to get another shot off on them. And if we even lose it, it's like not terrible loss. We could still, they'll take a shot off on us, but they'll probably miss the way things are going.
All right, yeah, sure. Brandon, what's their DC?
The AC or the DC?
The DC, it's 15. It's 15 plus 1.5 times their starship tier.
So the starship tier would total to 13. So 15 plus 13, which is 28. 28.
All right. So this is literally a 50-50. If I roll a 10, I'll get it.
Oh.
I'm going to use the online roller because I've gone through all of my D20s.
If I were you, I would mute Mads.
I'm server muting her.
No.
Mads, I
How
love
dare
you.
you, Brandon? How dare you?
I love you, Mads.
I'll never forgive
Hey, we did it!
you. Yay!
So, Connell, you want to take that shot?
Oh, sorry, I don't have the power to server mute her.
You're stuck with me.
So, yeah, so we normal can move through 1 hex occupied. All right, so 1, 2.
Do I have any bonuses?
It's just your standard.
Ugh. That's gonna miss.
4.
It's an extra free shot we get off on them. So,
I mean, that makes it, even with the +2, it's an 11, which makes it 31.
All right. It's a good
We
thing
just
we're not
moved
doing
movement, so didn't we
regular
have like a
combat.
bunch of our things for someone to do?
It's a good thing we haven't been doing regular combat tonight, because otherwise, I'm pretty sure a toner would have died.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was a total of 31.
Yeah.
I'm gonna allow that to go just so our whole session isn't just Starship.
All right.
So that way we'll at least have half hour to do some other stuff.
How much did I beat their AC by?
The shields are still down too, so
Yeah, this is a direct shot.
And then 2 more. 31 points.
So 66, the 30, the 20 something that it took. You said 31?
Yep.
All right, yeah, this is destroyed.
and
It
were
went
we
over
able
its,
to
100 whole points.
were we able to disable it rather than fully destroy it?
Let's you was aiming for the core this whole time. Another critical threshold would be hit, so let's let it go on a die roll. Let's see if you can manage to get the core, and I will leave it to Gunner since Gunner did the attack.
All right, what am I rolling? Just a d20?
Yep.
Am I adding anything?
Nope, straight
11.
roll. I gotta remember where I put the thing for it.
It's always on the Starship thing. You got 11. That would be sensors.
I'm gonna let you have it as a group. The core's still glitching out. The sensors are glitching out. They took direct damage of just a part of their ship begins to collapse into space, and any energy that the ship would have is completely drained at this point. As the energy was going out, it looked like they were trying to send out a signal, which I was going to do after the pilot phase and just say, hey, like, we surrender. But that signal didn't fully come to you at this point. So the ship is still intact. The ones that are on board are just dealing with the drones at this point.
Racked in bounty. Let's see what they have of value.
I fire the ballista again.
Yes!
No.
Wow.
No witnesses! No, I'm good.
Let's see. What we
See, I was gonna say like it was like a cool like anime like samurai type scene where you just see like two people charge at each other like the swipe of a blade and one person just drops, but in a ship form. But when you just said, you know what, I'm gonna shoot it again, it's just like, all right, whoa, overkill.
I mean, get close enough, I can get on.
I mean, if you're
How they get
fine
back?
working with the drones to try to take out what's left of them until we get there.
Get me within about the half a mile.
Wait, also, like on an out of game level, aren't you also not able to use it since you didn't activate it before?
It's a spell. I can just cast it.
Yes, but don't they need to be within your sensory range?
Yeah, I can. So I can cast it when we're within 3,000 feet. I'm immediately aware of all computers on like within that radius,
All right,
and
so,
I can just warp to them.
all right. Well, if you could jump over there and assist the drones until the rest of us get there, that could prove interesting.
All right. Then I shall cast digital doorway on my I guess the ship's computer, and then once we're within range, I will jump to the other ship.
That's still like such a cool spell.
Mhm. It's not even like a short range. It's 3,000 feet. That's the better part of a mile.
Mm-hmm. Are we out of like initiative?
Yeah, we're out of initiative. There's no ships. There's no ship.
Yeah, we'll be immediately making our way to board, assist the drones in either wiping them out or making sure they don't try anything funny if they surrender.
Okay. So you hover over towards the ship. As I mentioned, a part of it's just missing. You see immediately how Bjorn is just goes over to the keyboard and then just like that out of sight to the rest of the party.
So
So,
Snow's,
Goodbye.
That's how
Snow's
he did
seeing
it.
what he's doing.
That's how he did it. Huh.
Oh, bye.
that penetrative tag was on there a lot longer than it needed to be. So yeah, Halbjorn, when you zap yourself right onto the other ship, I guess you would be kind of in the same room that the captain and all the other computers would be.
You know, wherever the drones are.
Wherever the drones
Well,
are.
I could choose any computer within that on that ship,
Mm.
but I'm gonna do the drones because they're unsecured. So
Yeah, the drones are open to transmissions from our ship, so
yeah, so I can go within it and out of them safely without having to worry about firewalls or anything like that.
I'm gonna use this as just like a layout. The hallway that's directly in the center, like roughly right around here, where those doors are set, you see 3 people that look to be people that work onto the ship are placed there and kind of like opening the doors, popping a few shots at somebody, and then like closing the sliding doors. As the doors open, you can see a female. She looks to be almost like she's a mystic, so she looks to have like this mystical feeling to her. A lot of beads, several piercings onto her. Looks to be just kind of patching up the person with the gun who's taking the shots as the door opens and closes. And there's another person behind them, but it's hard to see because they're a Yazaki. So just a smaller size. So when you teleport there, there's roughly about 3 drones left, and I'm gonna say that they're the 2 squares in front of you and the one to the left of you. And I'm gonna drop some random pieces for the 3 that I just mentioned.
Mark them so I know. Okay, so let's see what we got in here.
there we go.
Oh, mini twitches.
Mini twitches. Yeah,
My babies.
wherever you wanted to have the drones that were left, you could place them wherever. It'll be easier to use them as an icon.
Yeah, for now.
So the one that you see there with the hammer that's at the front is the person that you see with a gunner. He's wearing just like a long black coat that looks like it also would be like a jacket. He has one pistol at his side. He has another pistol in his hand. Directly behind is the mystic that I mentioned, and then the Yazaki is kind of in between just the front of the ship and them. So all this has happened directly in front of you, and the rest of your party is getting ready to board on shortly after. So, what do you do?
Well, is this door open in front of me?
The sliding doors, yeah. If you were to step in front of it, they would open and close. It's just they're trying to deal with whatever targets are left. You see just drone bits scattered.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 destroyed drones.
Okay. You know what? So Hobgoblin's gonna walk up to the door, and as it opens, let's see, a line right here. Perfect. He's gonna cast Arcing Search. So it is a 120-foot line. They must make a reflex save.
Oof, that goes right into the cockpit.
Or take 36 lightning damage.
That goes right through the cockpit too.
Like, right actually through it. Okay, so the 19 succeeds.
So 19, 8, and 5. In the order, the first person would have failed. The second person would have failed. The Yazaki would have succeeded. Let me look at the check. 34 is the damage.
It's just half damage, so it's.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah.
the Yazaki's the only one that succeeds. So that's half damage.
Oh. Yeah. It's half.
Nice.
So, Halbjorn just kind of just grabs the drone that's in front of him and kind of uses it to fuel the electric surge. It doesn't hurt it in any way. He just takes some like the electricity from it and shoots it out towards them.
Yeah, the camera lens just kind of flickers a bit.
Yeah, Snow just watches just as she can see Halbjorn just kind of place a hand on the drone, and the drone just shoots lightning out of it through the damn cockpit. I wonder if they say exit, because it would go way out. Because let's see.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there would be a little glimmer in the vacuum of space.
Yeah, fair. You just see the cockpit light up.
So
that damage too.
They as they get zapped, they both of the two that got zapped the hardest, they both take one step back and they go what just happened? And you can hear the one that had the guns like, I don't know, they got some space wizard thing with them now.
He stopped.
He wasn't there before. I don't know how he boarded the ship. But look, and he looks directly at you. He tries to give eye contact if possible, and with the gun, he was hostile towards you, but after getting zapped and seeing how things look, he drops his gun and he says, "Look, I want to see something." And he goes to step forward, and at this point, I want to see, I guess, from your perspective, Jen, what are the drones going to do?
I mean, the drones are going to be very hostile towards everyone on the ship. Their job is to essentially eradicate everyone else on the ship.
So he says, "All right, look, I want to see something." And he puts down his gun and he looks over to Halbjorn and says, "Hey, look, let's work something out." And he takes a step forward to be right back where he was, and he's like, "Look, I want to cause you no harm." He takes another step, and then you just see the drone directly in front of him just blast into it, and his body drop with smoke coming out of it, and he doesn't look to be getting up anytime soon.
Halbjorn would take his comms unit and be like, they seem to want to negotiate. Should I finish them?
Oh my god!
Spare one.
No!
Halbjorn puts his thing back down. Well, I have my orders.
Oh.
The mystic that's right there, this piece says, "Look, this is our ship. Our ship's not even working correctly. There's nothing we can do. You went all right. Can you just stop this? Do you have a heart?"
That is for you to find out. And Halbjorn's going to cast. What should I? What fun spells will I do today?
Yeah, Having's like, oh, why? Having's like that, and
no,
Snow's like,
no.
hey, I'm giving them a choice.
You Snow
One
watching
lives.
through the drones like it's a Netflix series.
Hey, Snow, what's going on in there?
They're
You'll
having a
see.
tea party.
You'll see soon enough, because Snow at this point is gearing up to do a brief spacewalk to get into the ship.
Insight. I want to do insight. I don't trust that sense motive.
I mean, Havoc would have heard Snow say, "Spare one."
Oh no! Wait. I try to go back. Wait, no. Duh.
Halbjorn's gonna cast on on our Mystic Frontier, Rewire Flesh.
Oh.
It is
Oh no.
it is a will save. It's weird. It's a weird
Oh.
save because it's a will save.
I remember this.
Initially,
Mhm.
and then a Fortitude save if it fails.
Mm-hmm.
As the mystic detects that you're trying to cast a spell of some sort, the mystic is also going to cast a spell. So I'm going to have us both do a initiative roll to see whose spell would go off first. Because
Okay.
the spell that this mystic wants to use also goes against will.
So let's see what we got. Ah, damn it!
Oh, but your number could still beat me. Like I don't know.
Please defend yourself.
Yeah, it's just the initiative roll. So
My God.
So let's see. I take a will save now. This button.
Oh my God.
No!
Oh.
That doesn't
I mean,
matter.
yay, but also this shit.
Yeah, we don't have good will saves.
Oh.
I'm a bear. They have a -2 to wisdom.
Oh.
And it's only a limit.
This wouldn't have happened if you guys didn't act like monsters.
She goes, "Look, I don't mean we don't mean you any harm. We just want to flee." And as she sees like you start doing hand gestures, she kind of just raises a hand towards you, similar to how like Darth Vader would use like the choke aspect.
Oh, jeez.
Stop, and I need you to make a will save.
and how
I
long is it
did.
going to take us to get to onto the ship?
I'm gonna just count as a round, just so we can all do stuff.
I'm already heading over. I don't even need to
Yeah,
sit up. I
'cause-
just fucking go.
Snow was already on her way as well.
You want me to make a piloting check to see how close I can get us and how?
No.
No, no.
No.
Mm-mm.
Why would you even
Smack.
suggest that?
Smack, smack, smack.
I roll and then all of a sudden just like, what's that? Ramming speed? All right, Captain.
No.
Haha, spaceship go burr.
God damn it. No, you can't just do the holdo maneuver. It's 1 in a million. Spaceship go bird.
Wouldn't that just be the perfect way for our campaign to end, though?
No.
Ramming into another ship that's already helpless.
My will save is a 9. I don't.
Stop, he's already dead.
Oh no!
I don't think I succeed that.
No.
You're not. Okay. So the spell that she casts is called Mental Block.
I know that spell. I have it. Damn it! I can't use the spell now.
Yeah.
I can still shoot you though.
Yeah, you can still shoot, but she saw you was getting ready to cast a spell. She looks to be unarmed of any weapons on that level. She looks just more to be like the healer of the group and maybe like a bit of wisdom for the group. So as she see you getting ready to cast a spell, she says, "Just stop," and the spell takes its effect.
He just kind of like looks clever. And then he just reaches down, pulls out his fucking cost eject decimate. Well, this is a small arm, so it's just, I think a little pistol.
Is it just the cricket from Men in Black?
It's not living, I don't think. No.
No, I mean like the little tiny
The noisy cricket.
The noisy cricket.
Mm.
I mean, it'll
The
look like
dinky
the
little
noisy
pistol
cricket
that
in a
makes big
giant.
boom.
It'll
Yeah.
look like the noisy cricket with being in a giant bear paw.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just in this bear paw, he's like, well, I didn't want it to come to this, but pulls out cost check decimate. Well, let's see what we get. A 17 to hit.
Was it? It was a 17 total.
Yep.
Yeah, 17 total. I believe it's no, it's EXP.
It'll miss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll-
At this
it'll-
level, anything below 20 will definitely miss.
Sadly, it'll miss.
I can hope.
But the enemy, enemy or ally, however you see it, doesn't look heavily armored. So it missed, but it doesn't look like it missed by like that much.
Good. Well, at the end of my turn, I'm gonna make that will save again. Please.
Okay. So
Okay, there we go. Better. 19.
succeeds.
Whew.
So that
Where's me?
happens.
I mean, I'm putting my pieces on. You should be able to pull yours on.
Oh God, here we go. I'm gonna drag his piece over there and watch. He won't be able to use it. I bet that's what's gonna happen.
Certain it will.
I'm just imagining they're just like panicking. I'm like as they're trying to keep me away, and then all of a sudden on the windshield it's just snowing Gunner.
Can't move it.
Just like the Progressive commercial where the
There
people
we
just
go.
jump
Yeah.
onto the car.
You can't have nice things. He was able to to do it on the other screen, but as soon as I had to put you on this one, yeah, no.
Is this an entrance right here?
I mean, that's the way
Yes,
the layout of the
most
ship
definitely.
is. That is an airlock.
Okay.
There's also one in the very far back, but I'm pretty sure we wouldn't want to
Yeah,
go
no.
through that one.
No.
Okay. So at the end of the round, the mental block suddenly just kicks off, and you know, you're back to knowing what's going on. The Yazaki seems to animate for a second, and you can hear from the Yazaki. They came with others that they're here, and the Yazaki's just spazzing like, "What do I do? Where do I go? Captain, help!" And just heads north. And that's how it's going to spend their turn. All right. I don't have an initiative board, so I'm just going to go PCs and then enemies in that order. So as a group, you decide who's going to go when and what you're doing. This party, out of character, is no match for your team. So this is going to end quickly, but I would love roleplay wise to see how you handle it.
No, I hate this. They're gonna kill them all, the poor people.
I mean,
I'm gonna
Snow's,
really rush to the airlock, but it'll probably be locked, so I'm gonna need you to unlock it.
Oh,
which Snow is going to immediately attempt to do.
Well, let's try this again.
oh.
Is the airlock locked?
So that's the thing. I was saying how the power got drained out of it. So I'm gonna count as not being locked. I'm gonna
Alright.
count as being locked because otherwise it would mean anyone can just go in the airlock. But it's just like a easy like what pressure this thing will open. It won't require Snow to unlock it for you.
Okay. Then I already know what to do. I just hit the switch.
And
Exactly. And then
As soon as the door opens,
while they
step
do,
out, point up this way, and I shout, "Faces on the floor and hands behind your back, or you get an icicle right through your head."
Oh.
Twitch is gonna actually shoot this one.
Oh! Stop!
shit go brr.
I mean, the gun does go brrr.
Oh, ship go burr.
That's a 23 to hit.
That's a hit.
All right, 66 plus 14. $35 damage.
Definitely bloodied, but still standing, and is just literally like, "Why are you doing this to us? Like we did, we attempted to shoot at you. We did not succeed. We tried to flee.
we attempted
Why
to
are you?"
shoot at you.
You wanted to bring us a party? We brought one to you, bitch.
Oh, Okay, this is a little excessive. That's all I'm saying.
And they just watching from the ship. Oh god. Oh no.
It's literally a war crime.
It's literally
Not
a
no
war
retreat.
crime. Stop committing war crimes, guys. It makes me sad.
No.
Question: does the Geneva Convention exist in the Shadow Plane?
That is the question.
No, the Geneva the
It's
Geneva
the
Convention.
Convention of Geneva in the Shadow Plane.
No, it's not the Geneva Convention. It's the Geneva Suggestion.
It's
The
the
It was made
Shadow
up.
Geneva
It was made
Convention.
up by Stephanie the malicious.
Definitely a malicious.
No, it's in the Shadow Plane. It's the Shadow Geneva Convention, where it's like you must commit this many war crimes in order to get like a medal.
Yes.
We encourage
The Geneva
action.
Convention is a leaderboard in the Shadow Realm.
In
Yes.
the regular world, don't be mean.
Brendan,
Respect your elders.
is this
Do
door open?
Not defile widows.
Yeah, the door's still open. They're currently standing at the entrance. Just like, Captain, what do we do? What do we do?
And
And then,
Snow's-
Gunner bursts out, and then the Yazaki immediately head down on the ground.
And Snow's gonna have her gun aimed up the hallway,
Alright.
but she's not going to immediately shoot unless they make an
Yeah.
aggressive action towards her. But God, that lady is pinched between the drones, a bear, and a couple of dogs.
Yep. Speaking of, Hobin's gonna move up here. Does she have any tech on her?
It doesn't look. It doesn't. You don't see any tech. Let me look at her stat before I give that answer. One
Like,
second.
Any piece of tech. All I need is.
Oh yeah. She would have like a comm unit or something on her. Comm unit.
Perfect. Jolting surge.
Oh my god.
It's a
What
melee
the
attack.
hell is wrong with you people?
Oh wait, I didn't make it a spell attack then. Let me roll the dice. Then.
Where is Havoc during this?
It's a melee spell attack.
I thought
Hey,
Atoner and
is Havoc-
Havoc were still in the ship.
I mean, yeah,
I
you
think
guys could
So
be.
they're having her still.
You could be here. There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah, you could be on this ship or you could be on our ship. It's up to you. If you're
I
on
mean,
our
it's-
ship, you're not really seeing much.
Yeah, Toner is still on our ship because he's in the pilot seat.
Yeah, I'm helping
I'm waiting
Atoner.
for him to get back.
I'm helping Atoner. Because
Okay,
I know I can't stop what y'all are gonna do. And just watching it is just gonna make me more upset.
Okay, yeah, I didn't need to try this.
I mean, a toner would also be really upset if he knew. so-
Oh yeah.
Yes. Both of us.
Considering his history, he'd be very upset.
Yes.
So a 15 to hit her EAC? Doesn't hit, I'm guessing. 'cause that
no.
wasn't failed. God damn it.
God, more and more of Snow's
Unless I'm doing this
military has-
incorrectly, it might be. Wait. Do I add any bonuses to attack rolls for spell attacks or no? Besides my int.
Gee, it's almost like Gunner and Snow enjoy being horrible people.
I mean, your intelligence,
It's
yeah, bonus
int plus
to the attack roll,
AP.
so it's probably like your melee attack plus the bonus.
Oh, okay, that makes things better. So I should add my strength to that then, because that melee attack or
Yeah, melee attack has its own series of modifiers to it between like strength and like base attack bonus of the class.
okay. So yeah, well, since I'm touching her, I do gain a +2 bonus. So it's just so far the spell attack is just my int +9 and the d20 whatever's on there. So. It's still a 17. I don't think it hits, but
I just remembered I have been in your.
That- That does not hit.
figured.
Thank God.
Um,
Yeah, I'm
one
gonna
of
turn.
her-
Like,
one of-
Banner, stand down. Just restrain her.
Fine. The
she's
unit will spark a little bit before he puts his hand down.
she's going to just like touch you on a skin contact, like the same arm that you try to just do a jolting surge with. She sees that she's at a loss here, and she's just holding your arm with both of her hands, saying like, "Look, like you could stop this. Like You don't have to do this. Whatever they're telling you to do, you don't have to do this. Don't let others govern your decision. In this
Please
universe,
listen to her.
in this universe, who are you?
Hologram will look down at her. Yeah, could I stop it? Yes. Will I? No. Who am I? My own man.
And just like a sad face follows up with that. Are there any other actions by the party that you want to establish before I play the NPCs and then?
I mean, if they're going to be standing down, they'll be rounding them all up and keeping them together, disarming them.
Yeah, no one's gonna attempt to do anything hostile. Their ship isn't effective. Their party members, they already feel like they lost in battle with ships. They're not trying to test their waters now. Like their lives isn't worth it after seeing what happened to one of their party members.
So they all stood down.
So they all stand down.
Okay, then I'm gonna go around and zip tie or use my ion tape on all of them. Hands behind their back and legs together.
You hogtied them.
Yes.
Let's stow them in the airlock for the time being.
Yeah, Hogger will like take all their tech away, like comms units, what pistol, like whatever tech that they have on them, it's with him.
Yeah, Snow's going to actually remove all of their helmets, anything that may be used as a weapon, and load them all into the airlock. While the rest of the ship is going to be secured with the drones, just in case there's anyone hiding.
They just they're I'm trying to find like the best way to describe it. They're tied up. They're just witnessing everything. As soon as one person would begin to like open their mouth, you just see the other one kind of like headbutt into them, like shut up, cooperate. And they just obey the orders given.
I hate this.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with them in the airlock.
Yeah, once everything is secure, Snow's going to go into the airlock as well, just kind of squat down in front of them. So you wanted to bring us a party.
Look, the other ship was in charge here, and we just obeyed orders. Now we are in a turn to negotiate because we do not want to die.
Yeah, very few actually want to die. But have you tried it? You know, I did once.
And you lived.
No, I died. And I came back. I didn't survive from dying. I died.
They look like they like want to ask a question but don't know if if asking a question will be like the thing that may or may not trigger you. So you just see some of them like biting at their lips until the female who's the mystic says but you were given a second chance, and how things look for you now, is this better than your previous life or not?
I'm still trying to remember it, but yeah, I'd say I'm doing better off now since here I am, standing in front of a bunch of jackasses that thought that they could take me on. And I barely even broke a sweat.
Snow, stop being horrible!
So, you are our prisoners. What do you have to bargain for your lives?
My God. They all do that same sound at the same time. The Yazaki goes first and says, I don't know. I typically keep my hands dirty with the ship. We do have, and he lists some of the things that is operating their ship, like the ship parts that are there. The picture that I put in the Discord, so it's just like, oh, like we do have this, we do have our laboratory and stuff that's on deck. We have a medical bay. I've been keeping an eye on our long range sensors. Whatever you were using, though, is probably more superior. We do have some armor, and he just goes over all the stats, trying to use his intelligence in that way with like numbers. Like it will give this bonus and this, and that.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty though. Yeah, none of it would mesh well with our systems. What do you have that's not the ship itself? Because this thing is not exactly in the best condition to salvage.
I mean, a lot of us here really don't have that much left. This ship is literally what we have to call a home, or at least what's
So you're pirates then?
and the captain, who I don't have as a piece on here currently at the moment, is like, oh well, apparently not good pirates, but yeah, pirates at that.
You know, the Vesk have been controlling a lot of this space where we're from. They've been dealing a lot with the pirates from the belt. Do you know how they generally treat prisoners?
Well, with you being on a different world, I can imagine it's terrible.
Well, all things considered, I tend to be nicer than the Vesk are.
Not by much.
Because you see, the Vesk wouldn't have even given you this chance to talk. You would just all be dead. Your ship destroyed.
We are super thankful that our ship is still intact. And the mystic who's there says, well, is our ship going to stay here?
Well, none of you have seemed to have answered my question thus far. What will you barter for your lives?
I'm going to play the role of the mystic at this point because she's going to kind of take over the lead since she's seen what you can do in the captain. She's like, look, all of you are not from this world. Whatever connection you have to this world, I will never know. I will never understand. I felt that balance immediately as we passed your ship. And I was the one that told them that we need to just leave you alone. And it was shortly after that, all of this misfortune and bad luck has happened to us. Whether it was the drones attacking us, whether it was, he looks over the Halbjorn and he says, that one finding a way to magically board our ship. Clearly, all of you are adventurers of high Excalibur, and we are just pirates. We're just space pirates. I don't know if anything on our realm of existence, if there's anything that we possess that would be something worthy to all of you. But once I realized what all of you may have been capable of, I was the one to give the notion that we should leave you alone. So I want to say that I speak on behalf of all of us when I say that I don't know what we can do for you other than apologize.
Well, you made the smart call to call it off, but you also made the mistake of also engaging in the first place. But do you know that there are things that are valuable that have no financial wealth? Gunner, what was that bitch's name?
And I'm gonna remember. I'm assuming you're talking about the doctor's name.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, could you provide it to me? I believe if Doctor. I keep thinking Kalana, but I know it's not right.
Yeah, that is not right.
Gregant?
Gregant.
Yeah, Gregant. Okay. Dr. Gregant.
Yes. Do you know anything of this Dr. Gregant?
Yes. I happen to know a bit of information on Dr. Gregant. Is this something that if I were to release the information that I know, will that secure the safety of my crew members and myself?
If it is valuable information, yes.
What is it that you wish to know?
Everything.
Anything that you have to tell us about her.
She goes, Dr. Gregant. Oh boy. I know within this universe that there's this signal that I picked up on. It was a weird like pulse that was pulling on my heartstrings that I felt at a certain point in time. And our party, while we were traveling, I began to guide them to this area where I felt this strong, like mutation of magic, I guess you would say. I tried to deal with it as much as I could until we encountered this asteroid sized heart in the middle of the belt. As we slowly approached it, thinking, hey, this could be like our next big steal for us. Some of the members in our party started having these odd, weird side effects happen to them. So we ditched the operation. But I do know where you can find such a thing. We've called it the Heart Gate. And after doing some research on my end, it looks as if it ties to Dr. Gregant and her experience over Eclipse Innovation. It looks like she put some type of shell over the Heart Gate that any like weapons from a starship, we tried to attack it from the outside, but it deflected everything we threw at it, including the special missiles that we have.
Special missiles. The ones that you fired at us. What's special about them?
If the missile that we fired at you were to make contact to your ship, a enemy would have been summoned onto your ship that would have arisen while your party would have been sleeping and would have attempted to express some of the harsh reality that this universe does to make you comfortable with things here. It would have tried to rip your heart out physically.
Hey Gunner, you mind getting some of those ready for shipment? That could be useful.
I've got an even better idea. Hey, Bear!
What?
Go get the
Y'all are
torpedoes or
mean.
missiles, whatever, from the storage bay. Bring them onto our ship.
And, was there anything else you could tell me about the doctor?
Let me see. The doctor herself. The doctor's full name is Listana Gregant. At a young age, I would say maybe as a teenager, she witnessed her parents suffer a unbearable agony, and at the final moments of their lives, they died to either science or magic, one to each parent. So she began her studies in this fusion of both science and magic. Um, she experienced just the pain any child would have when losing their parents. And she wanted to find a way to use pain um, to do medical research in the field of pain and use that as a way of life itself. And she's set her standards onto that and have experimented on several people.
All right.
That is what the universe has told me about this.
I have one more question. She brings up a galaxy map, assuming it's more or less the same here, if not the spatial differential. What were the coordinates?
To be honest, Captain, I think we might know.
Oh,
Asteroid on the belt.
all right. If
Doesn't
we
that ring a
could,
bell?
if we could talk in the hallway.
Okay.
As soon as they both step out, Snow closes the door and jettisons
Nope,
everyone
I
else.
stopped the hand right there.
No. Thank you, Gunner. Thank you for doing what I cannot.
You doing?
Getting rid of some trash.
Oh.
We are not like them. We do not just jettison people out of an airlock. We are better than that.
It's a different universe, Gunner. It plays by different rules.
Alrighty then. And I open up the airlock and I walk in. You want to
Oh.
do this? You send me out too. We have to be better than this. I have to be better than this.
Snow just walks up to the captain's cabin to see what information she could pull off their computers.
The information is pretty much like any places that they ransacked, they've been keeping a collection of that information on hand. I'm not gonna say that I based them off of like a worse version of Guardians of the Galaxy, but they kind of had that same kind of team play mechanic where they just kind of did their own thing, scavenging for any items or treasures. They were pirates in that type of aspect. So a lot of their notes are to document places that they've explored or places that they plan to go back to.
Yeah, she's gonna pull that information and also keep a log of what they do have or did have, and just ransack the ship.
Don't want me just doing a happy dance.
Yeah, Schroeder's just like Snake on his communicator.
Like Snake.
I'm going to move all the people in the airlock to this bedroom and just stick them in there. And then I'm going to wait till everything is taken care of, like running the ship wise, everyone gets off. Then use my zip stick to turn the ion tape from the hardened plastic back just to the tape. And I guess that one of them had a knife on them that we probably confiscated, and I just tossed that over. Learn from this. Do better. Because next time you may not have a chance like this. And I just walk out and head back to the ship.
Snow starts speed running towards the edge.
Snow's actually gonna, once when everything else is done, gather up all the drones, take them to the pod, and detach the pod to bring it back to our ship in one piece.
Mm-hmm. Also, how many missiles would I like? Were there?
Well, I mean, we can do that sort of after the thing, because it's already 10:20.
We'll save that for afterwards, because I know I pushed past the 10 o'clock envelope. But if we can get everything done with the ship now, then we can call it there.
Yeah, it's pretty much ransacked. We took the torpedoes, whatever ones were left, took the drones that were left, as well as the pod back to the ship, because that would be a lot easier to bring this stuff back than spacewalking.
All right, so I guess
Yay.
as everyone returns back to the ship,
Drama.
that is where we will pick up next session.